Last time we talked a little bit about police accountability. We talked about the complaint process. Today we're going to talk about how we are proactive in making sure that we address police misconduct when we see it. Now the first thing is, and I think is probably one of the most important things, is our expectation letter. So every police employee that comes through the door that we hire, we have a discussion about police accountability, and we give them a letter that talks about their duty to intervene. It talks about what our expectations are in their private life. And so we set those expectations right up front so that a police officer or a police employee understands working for a police agency is an extremely important job. And with that comes a great deal of responsibility. And so that letter sets those expectations. The second part that we're going to that we could talk about is our early intervention warning system. So supervisors look for certain things: excessive sick time, excessive use of force, excessive pursuits, complaints, citizen complaints. And on a quarterly basis, they look at those statistics. And while use of force might have been justified, or the pursuit might have been justified, or the sick time might have been justified, all those things together in a more global picture allows us to look at our employees and make sure that they're healthy, make sure that they're not doing things because of problems at home, problems with finance. And a lot of times we're able to identify potential problem employees by looking at that early warning system and getting them the help they need. There's been a number of cases where we've looked at a number of use of force incidents, and even though those use of force incidents were justified and within the law, one of the things that we've done is be able to concentrate their training, and that training may include verbal de-escalation. It may include different kinds of techniques, some of which we'll go over here in just a few minutes when we look at the camera system. And I think it's really important to talk about our camera system. There's been a lot of discussions about camera systems and the use of camera systems and the value of camera systems. What we see the camera system program as being is being able to look at a particular incident and then critique the officers on how they approached that person, how they handled those particular situations, and documenting that in the process of making them a better officer. All these things together give us an opportunity to excel. And one of the things that we look for is this pursuit of excellence. We want to make sure that every one of our citizens, every single time, gets a quality interaction with our police department. And we do that by first looking at what our expectations are right up front, telling them what our expectations are. And then as an officer progresses in his career, we look for those things. That's the early warning system. And the third thing is that we actually look at the events. And our camera system gives us that opportunity to learn from our mistakes, from our behavior, and to correct those things that would improve the quality of interaction between us and our citizens. Now I'd like to introduce Sergeant Ashley Potter, and what she's going to do is she's going to walk you through our camera system and the process as a patrol sergeant that she goes through to increase the accountability of officers, but more important, to prevent events from occurring.
I'm Ashley Potter. I'm a sergeant with the traffic unit here at the Jacksonville Police Department. Falls under the Field Operations Division, which covers anyone who's in a uniform. Part of what we do here as a supervisor is going to be assisting our officers for calls for service, anything that requires a supervisor notification or response, but also we want to be involved in the things that an officer might not necessarily call us for, just so we're aware of what's going on, who our people are, and how we operate on a day-to-day basis. And one of the huge big tools that we can use is our in-car camera system. These cameras are put in every patrol car, and they are required by policy to be functioning. So if your camera's not functioning that day, which we do daily checks on this equipment to verify that it is functioning correctly, then you're required to turn your car in for the day or turn it in until we can get this fixed, and you'll be issued a new car for your patrol duties for that day. So here's our in-car camera system. They're affixed to the front of the windshield, so there's multiple different cameras within this system. When you're looking at it, you're going to get 3 views. One is going to be what you would consider a normal view as far as the normal screen size. You're also going to get a panoramic view, and that's also going out the front windshield. So ideally it's going to be from your pillar on your driver's side all the way to the pillar on your passenger side. And then the in-car view. It's designed to be pointed into the back seat and also out of the rear of the vehicle, depending on what you have in your car, or if there's a passenger sitting in the vehicle, or if there is someone that you're transporting. With all of this, we also have a microphone. There's going to be a microphone that's inside of your vehicle, and it's affixed on the B pillar on the passenger side. And the idea is to be able to capture anything that's going on in the car or anyone you're transporting. Officers will also be wearing a microphone that's affixed to their uniform in some fashion. This can be manually turned on. It can also be turned on through various different things within the vehicle. The way we turn our cameras on is going to be by activation of the blue lights, by manually hitting the record option, which is both located on the display screen, and a manual hit of the record option that's located on your body microphone. And then also we have a speed sensor that if your vehicle is traveling over a certain speed, the camera will automatically turn on. So once that activation happens, the cameras will also go backwards for 1 minute. So you're not just getting the time that the activation takes place, but you're backing up a minute. A lot of times we can catch a violation, whether that's a red light, a stop sign, or if you're out on scene and someone starts fighting, you hit that record button and you can back up a minute. You might be able to catch the assault on camera, determine who the aggressor was, and go from that. Once that activation does occur, you've got the audio and you have the video. And then we have the different sets of the videos, so it'll provide a different angle. If the vehicle is in motion, when you turn your blue lights on, you're going to get a lot of different things from the car itself. So were the blue lights activated? Is that why it came on? What is the speed of the patrol car at the time? Is the microphone in operation? It also shows when you apply your brakes. So a lot of this is useful if officers are responding to a call for service that requires a priority response, lights and siren. Is the officer still driving cautiously? Are they still yielding at intersections? Is the speed, although higher than the posted speed limit, is it necessary for the type of call that's going on? Or is the officer letting the adrenaline rush happen sometimes? And so these are things that as a supervisor, when we're doing reviews of these videos, it's stuff that we're looking at. Throughout the month, I sit down and I do multiple reviews on each officer. Specifically as the traffic supervisor, a lot of the reviews I'm looking at are traffic stops, traffic enforcement, response to crashes, DWI arrests, everything related around a motor vehicle. So as we're doing these traffic stops, is the officer cordial? Are they explaining why the stop occurred, introducing themselves? So even while doing these reviews, I might not find something that's a blatant policy violation, but I might find something that, hey, there's just a little bit better that we can do this. And that's the big thing to realize, that a lot of times I'm doing these reviews, and even though I'm not finding, which is great that I'm not finding policy violations, that's the ultimate goal, still finding, is there a better way that we can make this work?